Okay, everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. It is Monday, September 26, 2022. Welcome to the Freak Show, people. Welcome to this Freak Show. I have a lot of stuff I want to cover with you this morning, and things are just not looking good. Let's back up for a moment. What has been going on now for weeks, and it does not seem to be stopping? Global bonds are selling off. This sell-off is causing bond yields to rise. We're seeing this knee-jerk higher in the relative strength of the dollar, and it is hitting global equity markets. This scenario here, no surprise to anyone that follows this blog, people. I've explained to you the dangers here that exist in the debt market for over a decade, and we are starting to really see this get moving here. Before I move forward, I've also explained to you, and we have discussed right here on this freaking blog, how a big, fat, ugly lie is being sold to the people of the world. What am I talking about? You have central banks here raising the overnight rate. Here in the United States, it's called the federal funds rate. We've been seeing this for months. Fed's been nudging the federal funds rate. 50 basis points is what they started with. Then 75 basis points, 75 basis points, 75 basis points. And this phenomenon has not done a thing, nothing, zero to stop inflation from rising. I've also explained to you that this would not work right from the get-go. I said it's not going to work. And it hasn't worked. It's not going to work. It's not even meant to work, okay? It's a distraction. This nonsensical fairy tale that they are pushing on people that, oh yeah, we're going to keep raising the federal funds rate and inflation is going to start to miraculously slow down. No. Again, it's it's the look here, don't look over here. Now, what am I talking about with regard to that? You and I, okay, have discussed for years how central banks around the world are in a race to the bottom with regard to their currencies. Okay, they're all pressuring their own currencies. And what is the end result of that? Inflation. Okay, If a central bank is taking its currency and sucking purchasing power out of it, well, what would you expect to happen? So what am I trying to get at here? Let's put our little thinking caps on here for a moment. Okay. You and I realize, and we have discussed this for many weeks now, there is instability in the debt market is clearly showing up in the action we're seeing in the equity markets here. Okay, roller coaster ride, a lot of pressure on stocks. Okay, whatever. Fiat currency or central bank issued notes are part of the problem. They are the root cause of a lot of what we're seeing now. So if you and I understand that central banks are on a race to the bottom, they're deliberately killing their currencies. Why are they doing that? Again, to issue in a new system, to destroy an entire class of people, to make it hard for people to survive by making them dependent on the system, dependent slaves. So, what does this all tell us, you and I here? The key here, you're not going to hear what I'm about to tell you from anywhere else. So just get ready for it. Sit down, take a deep breath here. Tell me if this makes sense to you. If central banks, Federal Reserve, case in point here, wants to really stop inflation, they need to stabilize the dollar. They need to stabilize the currencies. They have to stop pressuring their currencies, which are deliberately in free fall, people. The relative strength of the dollar, or its comparative strength, is now firmly over 113, 113.39. Last time I just looked at it this morning here. That phenomenon is going to continue. I have no doubt at all in my mind that we're going to see 114, 115, maybe even 116 relatively soon. That's its relative strength, dollar compared to other currencies in free fall. You got it? Now, the purchasing power of not just the dollar, but other currencies is also in free fall. So if central banks were really serious, if they were honestly committed, as we've been hearing over and over again from the freak show propaganda ministry and from Federal Reserve presidents and Federal Reserve chair people, if they were really serious about it, they would stop this free fall in global currencies here that we've been seeing with regard to their purchasing power. If they don't stabilize the currency, this issue with inflation is going to get monumentally worse. It is by design, you know that. But here's the distraction. Look at the federal funds rate. Look at the federal funds rate. Oh, we're really serious this time. We're gonna do it. We're gonna keep raising it, doing the same thing over and over, and it's gonna be a different outcome. Bullshit. Until they get the currency issue straightened out, until the mainstream media starts talking about this, nothing's going to ever happen. People are going to sit there dumbfounded, not knowing where to look or what to do as usual. Okay, because that's what this whole thing does. It's a distraction mechanism. It's propaganda. It's look here, don't look here. Look at the federal funds rate. Don't look at global currencies in free fall. No, because that's the key, and you're not allowed to know it. Don't you see, people? This is a game on a monumental scale. Okay, and you and me, they're trying to play us like grand pianos, but we're not that stupid. They think we're that stupid, but we're not that stupid. You know, it's also interesting. You got the propaganda ministry floating out this freak and this other freak talking about how the Federal Reserve has made a monetary policy error. Oh, they've made a monetary policy error. Oh, and that's why we're seeing inflation. No, are you kidding me? They don't get it, and they can't admit to you that everything you're seeing is not by accident, but you know that because you've been following this blog. There is no way anywhere on the earth, off the earth, or anywhere else that central banks have not sat back and thought about every single thing they're doing before they've done it. You understand? This is a mission here to fulfill an end game, to destroy an entire class of people, making people dependent on the system, and you know this better than anybody. But what I want to know is, do you believe, honestly, what I just covered in the early part of this video? Will you ever hear this from a mainstream media outlet? No. Why? Because they're part of the problem. They are part. Turn it off, or call these freaking networks and just laugh until one of you people are going to start telling the truth. They never will. There's no monetary policy error here, people. This is all freaking deliberate. Now look, you got the 10-year yield 3.77 this morning. You got the Dixie, or the relative strength of the dollar, 113.39. The MMRI, as I am doing this video blog, is at a new all-time record high. This phenomenon, people, is getting worse. It's not getting better. And I don't see an end in sight here. Central banks literally might be at that moment here where they're going to allow this whole thing to melt down. And what have I been telling you? You got to be prepared for this. You got to have the high ground here. Think about, if you're long this market, how to protect those positions or get out of the market altogether. The next step here for the MMRI, free to everybody. Link in the description of this video. Check it out. 265. I wrote it down. 265.2 the last time I looked at it. We are knocking on the door of extreme risk in this market. And, look, it's really, what the MMRI is doing is flashing, warning that this debt market, for which the dollar and other fiat currencies are all part of here, is a big problem. It's the core of it all. And you know all this. You know all of it. All right, look, let's move forward here. Gold and silver are under pressure here on the issue with the relative strength of the dollar, which is, I really believe it's going to get worse here. Okay. You got crude oil under pressure. You got Bitcoin hovering around 19,000. That's where we stand. That's the situation here. And stock futures are lower. This is not going, this could get monumentally worse very, very quickly, people. Very, very quickly. Again, if we see 20, 30, 40 basis point jumps higher in that 10-year yield, which we're going to get in one day, okay? That is a sign to run to the hills. I don't know another way to put it here. This global debt market sell-off is a big, monumental issue. And people, look, it's not just about, I'm going to keep beating this like a dead horse, all right? It's not just about money. This is not just about stock markets crashing or debt market implosions. This is going to lead to a resource problem on a global scale, as it's designed to do. You understand? The entire monetary system, the financial system, is going to implode. And that's going to lead to a resource problem and a vast loss of human life. Okay? Again, I'm going to show you something. Global debt, hockey stick, higher. Along with the population, they've risen in tandem. When the global debt bubble bursts, the population is going to die off. We've created an artificial environment by artificially pulling cash into the now. This has fostered such a twisted environment here and has created, again, a population boom. This population boom has manifested itself in many other issues here, but it's all going to correct, okay, when that debt bubble bursts, and I want you to be ready for it from every possible angle, all right? And what we're seeing here right now, unless central banks take action, unless they do, and I mean like now, it's just done. This financial system is going to implode on a global level. And that is going to be a moment in time. I've said this, people are going to talk about for thousands of years. It's going to be a game changer of game changers. This is the biggest threat to human life on the planet. It's a clear, present, and immediate danger. But no one's talking about it. It's about global warming. It's about whatever bullshit thing, nuclear war. Okay, no, this is the greatest threat to human life. This is the greatest threat to human survival. That is the debt bubble, which is going to change it all when it implodes. And people are going to finally take to the streets, but it's going to be way too late. And then, of course, what are they going to do? Look to the same people who allowed this to happen, who designed it to happen this way, and beg for help, just like it's designed to do. All right, look, I'm out of here. Very important video. Please share this. Get it out. I want to hear from you. Do you understand what I'm talking about? You got the distraction of the federal funds rate, the overnight rate, central banks. Oh, they're raising rates. They're really determined to prevent inflation. Meanwhile, they're allowing their currencies to free fall. That is the root cause. Okay, the absolute purchasing power of currencies is evaporating. There's the key. But no one's going to tell you that. All right? Love you a lot. Share the video. See you later.